Okay, so part 4 of my video letter to Shea, Anton, Pensa. I might just read some of what I so going on about your grandmother and the talks we had, and why you don't know why I'm angry. So I am and was angry at you, but you never asked why. And you don't know why because you're a coward. Gwen told me that you're a hopeless situation. Her words, a hopeless situation. She loves you, but she doesn't know how to help you. She was happy that we were moving together and I was going to look after you and we're going to have a lovely life, and that's exactly what she wanted for you. That's what she said. What we were going to do is what she wanted for you. She doesn't know how to help you. No one does. Because you don't do the right thing. You don't do the right thing by you or by anybody else. And you make everything about you. So you destroy relationships. You've destroyed your relationships with your family, with all your exes, and I quote, you said that all your exes hate your guts. And I always thought you were being kind of ridiculous and paranoid, and how you didn't want to use your real name on social media, Facebook and that, because you didn't want them tracking you down and all this pathetic stuff. Honestly, get over yourself. You're not that much of a catch. But after the way you treated me, I can see why people hate your guts. And I can see why you got blacklisted from the entire comics industry, of which you gave me 2 different fucking versions of what happened. First, you told me it was because you were standing up for artists' pay rights, which is your one cause you've ever had. And then years later, I asked you to elaborate on that, and you said it was because some woman who was head of department somewhere in DC was jealous that you were sleeping with someone else and not her, and so she had you blacklisted from the entire industry. Fuck you, get over yourself. That did not happen. And whatever the truth is, it was your fault, and you've lied about it twice. Once you're the hero, one story you're the hero, the other story you're a victim. Typical Shea. But okay, I've gone off track again. So going back to my anger at you and Gwen, your grandmother. So she told me you're a hopeless situation, that she doesn't believe anyone can help you, and when we were going to move in, she was glad because she wanted you to have a family to look after you, and you had that, you dumbass, and you blew it. You're a man-child, not an adult, so you love to pretend that how mature you are, but you are not. You don't handle anything in a mature manner. I was ready to give up everything to look after you, and you treated me like that didn't matter. That the only thing that mattered was your money. But I was making sacrifices you have no fucking idea about. My time, my life is worth more than any amount of money you have. And by the way, your money doesn't make you superior. You didn't even fucking earn it. You just won the lottery with 2 inheritances. So you inherited the house, you inherited $500,000, you're going to inherit probably millions from your grandmother. Don't fucking act like that money is actually, you earned it. You just won the lottery. You're like fucking Trump. Taking credit for money was given to you for nothing. A few people are as lucky as you are, you ungrateful prick. And by the way, Gran is lovely and you don't deserve her. You really don't. She sits alone all day and no friends and no family talks to her. You're going to inherit everything and you can only manage a short talk about movies once every 2 months. You can't even have a real conversation with her. She wishes she could have a real conversation with her grandson, but she knows it's a hopeless situation. If I had known we were friends, I would have called her every week and found a community for her to engage with, so she wasn't sitting there all alone. I would have looked after her as well. You do nothing for her, you do nothing for anyone. You just threaten people with ultimatums to get what you want. And unfortunately, people enable you. Because you're always so fucking miserable, no one wants to make you upset. But they should. You are selfish and self-centered. I'm just reading some of the letter I wrote. You have pushed away everyone who ever cared for you. And that's all in you, all on you. All you had to do was talk to me like an adult, and none of this would have happened. Because everything you think is wrong. You know nothing of me at all. You have always imagined who you think I am. I should have set you right years ago. But I was always thinking of your feelings. I wish I hadn't worried about them so much. I wish I'd walked away from you years ago. I would have saved myself a lot of harm. You have hurt me more than any friend I have ever had, and I will not forgive you for that. I gave so much of myself to you, you have no idea. Of course you don't. You're completely clueless about people. And you gave nothing. You couldn't even fucking call me to see how I was. Last year we had an argument. I told you that I had had suicidal thoughts after getting out of hospital. I'd been traumatized by my experience and hit me like a truck. And you just skated over it. And you never came back to it. You never asked me about it. Do you think I would harbour some anger about that you just didn't give a shit? You never asked me how I was. You are alone now because you are your own worst enemy. Oh yeah, she told me, Gwen, your grandmother told me that her husband had dementia, kind of neuropathy, paranoia. She cared for him alone in her 80s. You didn't help her. I can see that you probably already developed that, the paranoia. I don't know, your alternate realities, maybe that's dementia, I don't know. Now you're angry at her for talking to me. But you don't have a right to tell people what to talk about. You don't control your grandmother, you don't control me, and that's what pisses you off. No, you controlled her a little bit. I feel sorry for her having you as a grandson. She just, she understood why I was upset. I told her what happened between us, and she understood. And she wasn't angry at me. She was annoyed at you. But it's clearly what she expects of you, no less. Or let's just say no more. See, people have low expectations of you, Shea. Yeah. I've noticed that you sold the house at last. This is hilarious. I told Shea that he would be lucky to get 700 grand for his house and it would take at least a year and a half. The real estate agent came along and said it should sell within 3 months and you get 840. I was baffled by that. I don't know where the fuck he got that price from. He said he looked around and that's what he got. I didn't get that at all. Thought, well, he's the pro, so what do I know? But I still didn't believe it. Shea got angry at me for not thinking that his house was worth a shitload more. Guess what? The house took a year and a half to sell. And he kept dropping the price in the last year and a half. Last advert, it was at 640 and you were desperate to sell in the advert. So no doubt somebody rang up and asked you to drop the price even further. So I'm going to assume they paid $600,000 for the house, which is what your mother paid for it 15 years ago. 15 years ago. Was it a little bit more than that? 15 years ago, and your house is selling for the same fucking price. And you know what? That's what I predicted. So that feels good. I was right about a lot of things, not just that. You know, I had so much so much hope for us, so much love for you despite how angry you made me and the way you treated me. Typically, Shea, when you keep giving people ultimatums and you don't listen to them and you don't sort out the problems in a relationship, and that person is about to give up fucking everything to look after your fucking lazy ass, then yeah, they're gonna get kind of fucking angry at you because you're not respecting them, and you didn't respect me at all. You say you do, but honestly, you just say words that just come out of your mouth. You say what people think, what you think people want to hear. You don't actually say the truth. I don't think you know what the truth is. It's not how you treat people in a relationship, and your mother was a child psychologist. Surely you learnt something about that. I will cover the emails in another letter. I'm going to end this here and film part 5 soon.